Wow, good evening and good evening once again, and welcome to another awesome Tuesday night of racing here at SuperCars NZ inside the Broadcasting Lounge, bringing you tonight's stream of the Allports Motorsport V8 Championship as we head to the Nurburgring GP no chicane circuit over in the awesome Germany. The guys are going to be racing on the 5 kilometre GP circuit tonight here, which makes up a very small portion of what is the Green Hell, or else otherwise known as the overall large Nurburgring circuit. I have Mr. Kitchen, the one and only Corey Kitchen, in the broadcasting lounge with me tonight. How are we, Corey?
Good evening, Dougie. Yeah, Tuesday again. They roll around so quickly.
They do indeed, and ever so more frequently as well now that I've been doing a couple of Thursday nights, paying back a bit of dues for Mr. Wayne Bloor after he'd covered me from a few nights extra where I was unavailable due to work.
Yep, it's everyone's got each other's backs around here. Definitely needed a little bit of that lately.
100%. And I've also just been advised that we've also got another addition to the broadcasting lounge this evening, and welcome once again to Ben McMurray.
Good evening, lads. Should be a good race here at the Nurburgring.
Sure.
Yeah, what do you know about it?
Be. Give us the 411, Benny, about the Nurburgring. What do you know?
Off the top of my head.
Come at us with all the hard facts. The
right,
raw...
just off the top of my head, we'll have a full fact file later on in the race when it gets a bit quiet. But off the top of my head, we've got the Nurburgring circuit somewhere in Germany, and it's most famous for the Nordschleife, the 21 kilometre circuit. And this is just the motorsport track. So obviously it's held a few Formula One Grand Prix, the home of DTM, and various other GT3 series. Yeah, that's about it. And we're not racing on the full Nürburgring, we're just racing on that circuit. And a pretty good track. You go down the hill and then you go straight back up it through some fast wee chicanes. And I'm sure all the drivers will be loving turn one, that blind kind of dip down. And that's about it. Good track for racing. And I don't know if SuperCars has raced here much, but it's always good in a GT3 and certainly in a V8.
Yeah, F1 lap record, Max Verstappen 128, 139. So that's a fair bit quicker than these big V8s.
Yeah, what are our V8 boys doing as far as sort of qualifying times and lap paces out there, Corey?
Looks to be a lot of 155s through quali. 155s, and yeah, it varies. I can only see the warm-up times currently at the moment.
Yeah, we won't read out some of those. They may embarrass some good drivers. But yeah, no, well done, Benny, for as far as being put on the spot once again. I did pre-warn you, and I think you've certainly succumbed to being able to be put under that kind of pressure. There was a good rundown about Nurburgring, and just to clarify, it is in the city of Nurburg. And one would assume that the ring just means that it's a ring that runs around that city.
Definitely.
We can only assume. But yeah, so...
It's in West Germany.
There we go. The guys have only got a minute left of the warm-up time taking place. We will have very shortly approximately, I think, 32 cars out there on track. And for those of you who may be tuning in from a weird and wondrous part of the world that's not New Zealand, we're celebrating a pretty cool thing over here today. It's a public holiday for us. It's our Waitangi Day. It was I suppose a day of reconciliation and peace between the New Zealand and the Māori, and coming up with some combined laws of how we can move forward and make the country better. So I've put the big request out to the boys last night there, Ben, Suggested that the guys try and find something Kiwiana or Kiwi related, New Zealand related, simplified even further, to plaster on their car. There's a few people that have gone and done that by way of putting some ferns and bits and pieces on their car, and also some kuru design, traditional Māori designs on their car. But I think a lot of our guys are supporting also New Zealand companies and businesses and affiliations of the like. So I would say that's pretty Kiwi in its own right. So I'd say they classify as well, wouldn't you, Ben?
I've just got to take a phone call. Very sorry, guys.
Oh, okay.
It was a good time for me to pipe up.
Someone's just rung Ben saying, "Oh, I can hear you on the stream, bro."
So it's the season standings.
Oh, yeah.
Before we get racing. So Rehan's currently leading the championship on 347 points.
Okay, well that's there. Yep.
So he's got a 27-point lead over Bruce Tanak. Stefan McCartane only 9 points back in third, so she's pretty tight like a tiger, Dougie.
Tight like a tiger, and all of those guys are inside the top 4 of qualifying tonight as we count down our last 15 seconds before the lights pop up. Let's bring it down here, get rid of some clutter on the screen quickly. Count down the tunes and see what kind of chaos can be unfolded as these guys get underway, coming down to turn 1 here. Look at that field. That's a huge field of cars.
That is quite a few cars.
And there's one Mark Price just been tagged a wee bit there in the background going round. Currently leading Rehan over Bruce Tanak, Taylor Mitchell, and we've had Stefan McCartane spin around right in the middle of that pack, doing his best, holding his brake, waiting for all those cars to clear. Hopefully no one gets stuck in on the front bumper. The man, that was crazy.
Yes, he's a bit of waiting time, waiting for the field to go past after you have a spin on lap 1. So there'll be a few guys drop into the back of the pack now, and we're going to see them fighting their way through.
So there was a monumental 31 position spot loss there for Stefan just there, and he was holding that 4th spot. So now moving up into 4th spot is one Sean McNamara. I believe we can also refer to him as Mr. Plough or Sir Plough, I believe was something that he wished to be known as.
So yeah, looks like 38 starters tonight, Duck.
Wow, how crazy.
37. Take Douglas Bickley out because he's sitting up here with me.
Yep, that's the broadcasting lounge. He's not up to much at the moment. I'm absolutely boggled at the number of cars out there circulating at the moment on this wicked GP circuit here over in Germany.
Technical track.
Very.
Yeah, I don't have the patience for here. The turn 1 just looks nasty with that little dip.
It is incredibly hard, cheeky corner to try and get through. Quite a few people who have raced here will know exactly what that's like as part of doing the Nurburgring 24-hour race. Yeah, it's as far as corners on the track go, it's one that you can get very right or very wrong. And as far as track circuits go, that are over 20 kilometres long, and I think there was something crazy like nearly 100 odd corners or just over 100 different turns on the track. Turn 1, like most tracks, is a crucial one to get right.
And just watching that opening of the race there, I noticed you mentioned, Doug, that the V8s are the heart of the league and still are. And that's noticeable by the driving standards. If you compare it to the GT3s, there seems to be a lot less incidents. And I don't think there was even one spin or one crash.
So we did have just the one spin round.
Okay.
No, that's all good. But as far as field sizes go, of having 37 odd people out there tonight cutting laps, Mr. McCartane, your teammate from CXR, who was sitting in P4, had an early rotation and unfortunately parked it right in the middle of the track at the corner exit.
Yeah.
Thankfully,
That's what happens when you take a phone call.
Thankfully for him, yeah. Thankfully for him, he managed to have the other 30 cars on track go left and right of him, so no damage for him. And I see that he's already made his way back up from the bottom of the field into P31. So shouldn't be too long before he's counting his measures and moving through, but certainly a strategy to come into play with how he will conduct his compulsory pit stop, 4-tyre stop. Out here I've been just following Mr. Leon Ware for a moment, because just in front of him is one Mr. Nick Mitchell, the MRX Commodore there, and the importance of why I mentioned that, Corey, would be
Hey, the Race Week sponsor, MRX Race Sims. How good! I've owned one of their chassis and very impressed.
Who else do you know that owns one of those MRX rigs there, Corey?
I think you do, Doug.
I do.
If I remember rightly, I sold it to you.
I do indeed. It was our first face to face.
It was, yeah. How I met, and it was through sim racing, and here we are.
That's it. And
now we talk about it.
I know, and it's one of those things. I know you had a post up there on Facebook the other, might have been yesterday or today, saying how it's not often recommended for people who game together that have never met, should probably never meet, because you're often not as delighted with the person that you meet in person with what the person that you thought you were talking to over the old headphones.
Yeah, never meet online friends was the joke. Yeah.
That's how does Ben feel about meeting online friends? Is that something that you can conduct on a regular, or are you pretty locked down? You just say, don't have that kind of time on hand to be able to do that?
Well, luckily, the majority of my local friends are all Queenstown or Cromwell based, so they're just over the hill or around the mountain, so it's not too hard, and most of whom actually knew in real life before we started sim racing together, and they're all a bunch of good buggers like the guys in this league, and you guys have all been very welcoming.
Wow, there we go. That's awesome to hear. Oh, actually, gosh, just as I went and clicked on Nick, he's gone and got himself into a royal tangle and is just falling a bit further down the field. Let's see if we can find a clean MRX car to look at. I think we've found one here of Mark Mudgway, teammate.
New boy on the block for MRX, I believe.
Yeah, it is, and I've actually got had a bit of a detail from Nick earlier on, because I know we touched on that one the other week as to who these new guys were and where they've come from and why they are now here. And so Nick greeted me this evening with a Happy New Zealand Day message, and then followed on with just saying that he'd heard about the previous week's stream, and apparently I was correct with my comments about the new lads. So there is Mark, and there's another Nick. I'm just trying to see whether he's here tonight. Don't see his name jumping out at me at the minute. And a John. Any Johns in the house that would be relatable? Possibly not as well. But anyway, so those three drivers, Mark, Nick and John, have indeed moved over from ACC.
another wee bit of a spin there.
Yeah, I just caught that out of the corner of my eye. Dan Nolan and Shane White being caught into that, and just Dan getting a wee bit of an extra biffo there from Ross Watson trying to move on by. Dan Nolan or Ginge, I'm guessing that's an early childhood picture there. It's certainly not a kid I'd want to meet on the adventure playground set.
That's a true carrot top, that one.
That's good. That's scaring the children at home, so I'm just going to make that one disappear momentarily. But yeah, those guys that have joined Nick in the MRX League. So Nick drive the Warbird and the Le Mans series, of which they have had a 12-hour at Taupo. They have a 12-hour race at Taupo in a couple of weeks. And Mark and John drive the sister car Warbird 2 in Le Mans now as well. So thank you, Nick, for clearing that up and clarifying it. And yeah, some awesome looking BMW war painted liveried vehicles that they've got there. So if you find yourself around the Taupo area in the next couple of weeks, have a looky down at the raceway there. You might be in for a bit of a adventure, watching some cool racing take place.
Yeah, and of course MRX is so the MRX Extreme. So Nick's got a workshop there, and they work a lot on race cars and have some pretty cool stuff go through that shed. But during lockdown, a lot of design work went into creating this flat pack sim chassis that comes to you all flat, and you get to put it all together yourself, and pretty rigid setup. Pretty impressive, and add-ons. Yeah. The amount of add-ons you can add onto them now, it's outrageous. And he's into making custom things as well. And there's even been a motion platform adapted to fit on the bottom of them too. And I had the pleasure of having a go on it, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is. Now, this gentleman here on screen is also a person who runs an MRX rig.
Yeah, with screens for Africa, I've heard.
He's I think if he would have any more screens or any bigger of a screen, we would start calling him Shaq. No, apparently it's quite a wild thing. So for the MRX rig, Nick has been able to make a triple screen. Well, it could be a four screen mount edition for the rig itself. I run the triple screen monitor setup, similar to what he runs on his own personal rig at home too. And Bruce wanted to go one step further, so to put it into perspective, Nick and I both run 32-inch screens, 3 of them across, and I believe Bruce Tannock runs one. I think it's I want to say 49, but it could be something like a 54-inch ultra wide.
It's a 57, one of them new 57s, I think.
There we go. 57-inch ultra wide in the middle with two 32-inch screens on the left and right of that, and that's probably as much screen real estate going across as what he probably sees out of the front of his Mag and Turbo Commodore there. That is just insane. So that was not an off-the-shelf item. That was something that Nick had to fandangle together to sort for Brucey. We see Bruce at the moment sitting there in P2 as he trails behind Rehan there, showing his metal once again. 6.8 seconds clear of P2.
We've got some iRacing credits to give away tonight too, Doug, I heard.
We do. So there's actually there's 2 parts to that. The first part was for the drivers out on the field that are supporting things Kiwi related. So as we look here on Taylor Mitchell's car, you can see he's got a New Zealand flag on the wing ends there, of his car, and he's also supporting some New Zealand businesses. So that's really cool to see. So that's certainly an entry into the iRacing credit draw. I think he might even have a fern on the roof there. I've just spotted that out of the. Does
Yeah,
indeed.
just yep.
Very cool.
And just for those who are watching at home, is there an interactive way that they can get involved in supporting the Waitangi Day special?
There
Those
are.
on the stream.
There are. So we've got. It looks like there's a few people possibly watching at home, and if you've got a driver out there that you like, or you think that they've got a cool livery that you've seen on stream before the end of the race, if you vote for that car number, or the person by name, the person with the majority of the votes before the end of the stream closes off, will also pick up themselves some iRacing credits. So what we're going to do is, thanks to Allports, is we'll give $20 iRacing credit for the person with the most votes via the live chat system, and we'll be doing $30 iRacing credit for one lucky race finisher at the end via the Wheel of Doug there, Ben.
Perfect.
Which will be the one-hit wonder version, not the drawn out death by Doug for everyone.
How's the movers and shakers on your end there, Dougie? I've got a one Darren Lobb sitting up there a fair way. It's telling me he's up 31 positions, but I'm not too sure how right that is.
All right, so movers, shakers.
29, is it?
Darren Lobb up 29 positions. So once again, that gentleman has started from the rear of the field and has been blistering his way forward. So there's Dazza there, and can confirm he
honourable mentions.
Yeah, he's actually really close to the back of coming onto the back of Taylor Mitchell as well.
So you're up 17 spots. You got Stefan Adams, sitting in 21st at the moment.
That's certainly worth a mention, and that brings up some more cars onto the table that we can see on there.
Yes, and Jonathan Turner was another one. He's up 13, and Ryan Cotterill also up 13 spots. So they're your biggest movers and shakers so far through the field.
Nice. We've got a couple of guys that have just jumped into the pit lane as well. So we've actually had approximately a third of the field come in to serve their pit stops as well. I don't believe a lot of them were crash related data, but I will have a quick look and see if I can filter out some of that crash and off track data, see if there's something worth having a look at there. So we could have a quick look back at Stefan's event there for you, Ben.
Yep.
So there we go. So he actually got a wee nudge around by the number 28 car.
Wow.
So I believe that was
Leon.
No, I believe it was one AKA Mr. Plough or Makatap Namara.
If I'd ever seen a plough do a plough-like thing, that was definitely it.
So that was this guy here who was all over that, and his if I bring up his race photo, it'll make a lot more sense for the people at home.
There we go.
So self-credited, Mr. Plough. Sir Plough, as he wants to be referred to as.
And don't forget, folks, if you're watching out there, you can vote for your favourite driver, just their car number or their name, and they're going to go into the draw to win $20 iRacing credits. So yeah, if you're still out there watching, jump in the old comments and let us know who you think deserves that $20 that'll get them a new car or a track.
Well, indeed. Got some battles happening down the field here. Got Mark Price, Roger Forbert, Tony Lynch, Dan Turner, all having a cool bit of a time with one another.
Yeah, shout out to Kristen Jenkins too. He's away from us at the moment after hurting himself there. So be looking forward to seeing you back on track soon, mate.
Yeah, he had some surgery done, I believe, didn't he?
Yeah, I believe that may have been postponed, but he's gone and burnt himself. And
oh no.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully you're on the mend there, mate, and
wishing you a speedy recovery there, right off.
Yeah.
Named by nature, I think.
We've got old Laz has shouted out car 25.
Car 25. Okay.
Is that Ross? Ross Watson?
Oh, now you've put me on the spot. 25 Ross Watson. Cool. One of our misfit boys. Trying to work out what he saw Ross do this evening that was worthy of a vote. I'm going to have a look and find some Ross Watson data. He's actually been doing quite a bit. He's been making his way through the field, picking off some people on the opening lap. So we'll have a bit of a look at how they came around. There's Rosso there. So after that incident there with Stefan McCartney, there was a couple other guys out there on the inside, parked on the inside field. It's probably been really just finding his lines and slowly picking his way through other people's drama, and that's good racing.
Yeah, you've always got to be aware of what's going on around you, especially when you've got 37 cars starting the race. You know, there's 37 guys that want to be right up the front.
Yeah, and so I can confirm Ross started P19 and had managed to move himself up to P13 in the race. He's served his pit stop and he's back into P21 and he's currently circulating around doing fairly nice, tidy, consistent lap times. What stuff. Getting himself into a cool wee rhythm. So thanks for the shout out for the vote there. Laz, car 25, Ross Watson, currently the one and only driver, possibly going to be walking away with some iRacing credits. If there's anyone else out there at home, jump onto the live chat and vote for your favourite driver, friend, or best livery that you spot on stream.
Yeah, who are you here supporting? You know, if you're watching and you're supporting your partner who's out there sweating it out.
This is incredible. Darren Lobb now onto the back of Taylor Mitchell, really humming and pushing along. Taylor showing a wee bit of a defensive line down into the braking point. But that's 30 positions Darren has made up currently. And at the top of the field we still have Rehan, Taylor and Darren still yet to stop. Rehan is a whopping 19 seconds ahead of Taylor Mitchell currently, and behind Darren Lobb, it's just under 22 seconds to Bruce Tannock, who's currently P4. So we see these guys coming down into pit lane now, and it would almost look like Darren's managed to pass Taylor coming into the pits.
Do you think Lobby, he does it on purpose just so he can have that first pit bay as you come in? You know, it's all part of his plan. Get in there, get that pit stop done, put the other driver under a bit of pressure to maybe drop early and, you know, take less fuel.
Not too sure. I mean, it's certainly something that one of us here from SuperCars NZ should be reaching out and seeking that answer, because yeah, week after week, our Darren Lobb there is starting from the rear of the field and making his way through, getting the highest number of passes than anyone else out there on track. So he sits now in third spot. He cleared Taylor Mitchell during the pit stop there, 2 seconds ahead of him, trailing Bruce Tannock by 9 seconds. So we'll see how that one goes. Rehan still left to pit and is actually only one of 2 drivers left on track that haven't stopped. So him and Jeff Horgan was the other one who hasn't stopped us yet. Now I believe Jeff was why does Jeff's name ring a bell to me there, Corey? I feel like we've spoken about him recently.
Did he win a toolbox last week?
Oh, he did indeed. Maybe someone at home likes Jeff and could vote for car number 26. And he would not only be getting himself a cool wee toolbox, but he'll have some iRacing credit. So if he can't fix the car with the toolbox, he can go and buy another virtual race car and go and spin some wheels in here at least.
We got another vote for Ross Watson. You all night, Roscoe?
Nice stuff.
So, OCE Shadow 1, so he's voted for car 25 as well.
Yep, see that one there. Just having a looky here. There's a cool bit of a battle about to get underway with a freshened up, liveried MRX Commodore chasing down one Dan Nolan, and just ahead of them is my disappeared on me offsider for the racing season, Shane Fati.
Yeah, and he's out there enjoying his race time instead of listening to you jibber jabber on, I guess.
Shane misses the Shane misses the jibber jabber.
Good timing. Did you hear what I said?
Not quite, no.
Okay, that's probably good then. I'll keep my mouth shut on that one.
While you're under immense amount of pressure watching your mirrors, we were just talking about
Ice water.
Nice. We'll just talk about how you ditched me for the season, so you can come out here and put the pedal to the metal in the Commodore once again.
Yeah, and absolutely no regrets either.
Sorry, guys, I
do love you.
One of the benefits
Shane.
of that though is you get to do an onboard lap and you get to talk us through it while you're sweating and taking in those breaths, you know.
There was, so I reckon we'll put you
on this season. Come on.
I think that would probably make me personally feel a little bit better about being ditched. So we'll keep watching you for a little bit longer as you come around the back end of the track, and then you can give us your best impression of a flying lap while you struggle to hang on.
If I crash, it's your fault.
No pressure at all.
But you've been having a pretty good race so far. One wee drama earlier on, but have since recovered pretty well.
Yeah. may or may not be coming back on the car responsible for that. So that was what the comments that I'll keep my mouth shut about might have been about. But
very good. All right, we are on board with you as you come round the final corner by pit lane entry there onto the straightaway, and we hand it over to you, Shane White, a lap of the Nurburgring GP.
Like that.
so ease it over to the right here to straighten up the braking zone, get on the brakes, down to second gear, get down the gears, car just before the apex, a little bit of a distraction there. Patient on the throttle, keep it in second gear for this corner. Patient on the throttle, third gear, back to second, get it into the apex. Short shift to third here, climb over that curb, not too much or you'll grab an off track. You can use quite a bit on the exit there as well. And then pulling gears on the brakes just before the cones, third gear, get it into the apex, hold it over to the left to open up the right hander, second gear for this one. Get the throttle down as cleanly as you can. Pulling gears, fourth gear, fifth gear. Braking just around that little concrete box there for me. I think some people are pushing a little bit deeper, but don't quite have the confidence under brakes of some of the other guys. Second gear through that one. Up into the Michael Schumacher S. Little touch on the brakes to get the nose in, and then modulate the throttle. Use that throttle to help turn the car through that high-speed corner. Fifth gear on the brakes under the sign. Back to third gear. Little bit wide of the apex there, you normally want to get a bit of that curb, and then this one, important to pick up the throttle nice and early, get full throttle just before that curb to get the rear end settled as you climb over that curb, otherwise you'll lose it like I did last night in the practice race. Up to sixth gear, on the brakes just before the 100 metre board, third gear, don't cut the corner too much, I picked up an off track there so that was too much. And then second gear for the final corner. Patient with the throttle, grab third gear as you get off there, and then just pulling gears all the way to the line.
Thank you, Shana. That was an awesome onboard lap. Thank you for taking us around and showing us just exactly how Rehan does it.
Well, attempting to show you how Rehan does it. That was my best recreation of Rehan's lap.
Give or take 4 seconds, eh?
Exactly.
He's an absolute weapon. Thank you, though, Shano. That was really well done, and a great rundown of the lap while under battle pressure. So enjoy your final few 5 laps, and hopefully you can pick off a couple more spots before the end.
Cheers, boys.
What do you reckon, Ben? Like that was pretty well done, wasn't it?
That was pretty well done. It looked like I was using all the tracks, and as far as I can tell, it looked pretty quick. Although the timing screens may have differed.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at his last lap there was a 1:58.23 versus his best lap of a 57.8. Not too bad while under pressure of sitting here and talking his way through the lap and desperately trying to hang on to what's 2 ton, 600 odd horsepower of killing machine.
Exactly. And just while we see, we haven't got an MRX car on the screen, but speaking of MRX, they also service as an aluminium fabrication and some custom race car builds, as well as the obvious simulator builds.
They do. So Corey was saying before, so Nick's main business is Nitchell Race Extreme. So he's been well involved in the racing industry, fabricating race cars, roll cages, custom pieces for inside race cars, and anything else in between that you could possibly squeeze in between 2 or 4 doors. So the racing simulator for MRX was a project which came up during COVID, and Corey has a bit of a rundown for us on that, how that came about. Corey?
Yeah, so 2020, we've rewind the clock back quite a few years now. Everybody obviously having spent a bit of time at home, and that put his mind to use and designed the old MRX rig there, and it all comes to you in a flat pack. Really easy to set up, and there's a lot of add-on parts you can get for all different kinds of wheels and pedals and shifters, keyboard mounts, mouse trays, drink holders, I believe, toolboxes.
Yep, they've got all of those.
And yeah, you can get them custom powder coated if you like, and fully customized. So I've seen a couple of them down at a cafe in Geraldine, Mundell's Cafe. He's got some MRX chassis. One's set up as a flight simulator, and 3 of them are set up as race simulators. So if you're ever passing through Geraldine, definitely a place you can stop by and check them out.
That's got Ben's wheels turning. He's not going to be too far away from coming back from purchase of a new car shortly with his old man, and he's now just strumming his thumb and forefinger underneath his chin, saying, "We might be able to take a tiki tour through Geraldine on the way home."
It was quite literally exactly what we're thinking, and we're passing straight through there, probably on the way to the bakery in Fairley.
Very good, and highly rated. This has been an awesome Allports Motorsport SuperCars NZ V8 race once again. Wow, man, just still absolutely blown away with the number of cars that we've had out there taking part tonight. So a big thank you to them, Allports Motorsport, for showing us so much love over the last few seasons, for sticking with us and allowing us now to have a larger pay dividend on this championship for our drivers. As I said earlier, what I still believe is the absolute heart of SuperCars NZ started out again during the COVID lockdown with a few guys who like to get together on iRacing to race the V8s and pretend that they were the next Van Gisbergen or Lowndes or Frosty, and that number quickly grew into a few more, and now we're resident to a couple of hundred odd registered iRacers here through New Zealand. We often get about 120 registered drivers for each season, and I think that certainly comes down to having such awesome sponsors on board with us, who allow us to continue putting on not what I believe is some of the best racing via iRacing here in New Zealand, but just helping us to get this platform from iRacing down and showing out to you guys of what some seriously cool guys who come from all walks of life, from real life racing through to just the old PlayStation wannabes, who have now grown and shined into being some absolutely wicked peddlers on a racing sim that you wouldn't want to go and jump in a go-kart beside them without potentially eating a whole bucket load of dirt.
Yeah, well, essentially what you're seeing is sim racing has become grassroots motorsport. You're seeing so many guys getting picked out of a sim. Like, I remember when I first started on iRacing quite a few years back now, and a young Brock Feeney kicking my butt, in officials and stuff like that. And he was just a kid. I was just yeah, but just look at Rehan, 14 years old, and he's out there in front. So he's got his dad in his ear, I guess, and he seems to be making all the right decisions.
I think Laz will probably be able to reaffirm to us, but it certainly seems that Rehan has now not only proved himself as a talented racer who from learning from his dad, but has, with his growth and maturity, doesn't need dad looking over his shoulder so many times during the evening. So Laz, give us a thumbs up if you're kicking back once again from your lounge on the couch sideways with Tuesday night's drink of choice in hand, tuned into the stream, or have you got the headpiece on, giving him the stern word about how he could be doing better and how he could have turned into that corner a little bit smoother? Be interested to hear. And while Laz is giving us the update on that, I would certainly implore anyone at home who hasn't jumped on board yet to vote for their driver to do so now, as we are currently on lap 20 of 21, and it will that time will tick over very, very quickly.
Well, Jakey boy, give us out a shout out, a car number that you think's worthy of $20 iRacing credit.
Still 16-second gap from Rehan to Bruce. Darren Lobb absolutely looking like he may be able to put Bruce behind him through the closing lap, as he now gets down to 1 second gap margin. But as we all know from having raced alongside or around Bruce in the past, about of all the drivers out there, is one of the hardest ones to get round. Taylor Mitchell, son of Nick Mitchell, still lapping out there in 4th. Blake Greenhall, the property edge. That's a New Zealand business. He's up 6 spots there into 5th, so he's done an awesome job racing this evening. Leon Weir in what can only be described as the new SuperCars NZ promo vehicle and livery. One that we worked on together.
Looks very slick, Dougie.
As far as slick things go, it's one of the slickest ones out there.
Jake, so Darren Lobb is up the most positions. Has he just got past Bruce? So he'd be up 31 spots there, Jack. He has indeed, yeah. So he's got around Bruce. So those elbows out by Bruce Tannock haven't quite been able to hold back the South African.
Wouldn't jump to conclusions here. He might have a rundown on the inside.
Yeah.
Or not.
Gonna put a bit of pressure on.
Ooh.
Oh, he's lost it.
Too much.
He's got it back.
Mr. Drifter, about one of the only few men out there who knows what it's like to be going sideways 100 plus kilometres an hour, and even more so than that. So that was certainly a great recovery. If that was me, I would have been all backwards and upside down, parked on the tyres.
Oh, I would have rolled, definitely.
It's a guaranteed thing, isn't it?
Yep, make a mess of it.
Yeah. So there he is, Rehan. Final corner, he has come around, diving for the flag.
I believe that'll be win number 5 for Rehan for the season there out of 8.
He certainly enjoyed the recent trophy, which has made its way over to Australia from SuperCars NZ, and I'm pretty sure he wants to find another matching trophy to go along with his championship one. So he's putting in the big effort to gain another one from us, even though he has already pretty much done a clean sweep of his first season of racing with us. So massive shout out to Rehan on that one. Darren Lobb, what can you say?
Yeah, so up 31 spots to nab second. He did very deserving burnout. So Bruce Tannock rounding out your top 3.
He did indeed.
Taylor Mitchell there running in 4th there. So 5th is Blake Greenhall. So nice run there, Blake, off 0 practice as usual. Just turn up. And I hope that wheel didn't give you any clunkiness this week, mate. Leon Weir manages to get up into 6th. Mark Mudgway and the MRX Mustang coming in 7th. Roger Frawbert, 8th position. Stefan McCartan with a good recovery, getting himself up there into 9th position. So yep. That's not too bad on him. And rounding out your top 10 is Tony Lynch.
Wow, how about that, eh? What a great fun bit of racing conducted by all tonight, and I would have to say with some certainty that car number 25, Ross Watson, well done Ross, you've earned yourself 20 iRacing credits on behalf of Allports for being voted best livery, best driver out there tonight on Waitangi Day. And without further ado, I will just get you to double check for me, was there any drivers that didn't finish the race?
Oh, yeah, there was.
I'm going to potentially say
30, I think, is what the number was I worked out before. So, yeah, Jeff Horgan was the last car to come around. Macca is down 12 spots. He was just sitting in the pit. 12 laps down, sorry. So, that's quite a wee way back.
That confirms that. So, checkered flag for Jeff Horgan, Sean McNamara, Jared Eccleston, Brendan Brownie, Steve Arthur, Eamon Young, Trent Bennett and Brett O'Keefe all falling out at some point during the race. So, yeah, hard luck to those guys there. But Ben, have you got a personal pick for the wheel of Doug as to who you might like to see picking up 30 iRacing credits tonight for bringing along a Kiwiana or Kiwi inspired livery tonight?
Well, I would go with whoever was repping that SuperCars New Zealand livery. It was one of the best design on the grid. Not because you designed it, Doug, but it was looking beautiful, and obviously big Kiwi flag on there looking bright and blue.
Yeah, so I'll just put that one down the bottom there, and I appreciate that, mate. Yeah, it was a good bit of a collaboration between the two of us. Leon started off, and he said he needed a wee bit of help zhuzhing it up. So I think we got there in the end, and I would agree. So we'll look out for number 6 on the wheel after we've shuffled it up, and we'll give it a spin very soon. I will get rid of that one. It clears things up a little bit more. So total of 30 finishes for the race. That's 30 numbers on there. Give it the old shuffle round. And what about you there, Corey? Have you got a particular car that you would have liked to see that'd be worthy of Kiwiana livery of the night?
Well, one I probably helped design, Brett O'Keefe. That's, obviously I'm a bit biased.
Yeah, so that's.
But yeah, he didn't finish the race though. But yeah, his paint took a lot of time for us to make.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I'd have to go with Pricey. He's still out there doing burnouts. So of the ones that finished, Pricey's got plenty of Kiwiana scattered all over his car.
I'm just trying to find Mr. Price's name. There he is, Mark Price. Yeah, he's it's sort of hard to see, but he's got logos for Africa on that car. It's like he literally drove down the road and said, if you have a sticker, slap it on her. So there we go. So number 6 or 26, and for me, I'd be putting forward my good mate Shane White for tonight, because I reckon he's done a pretty mighty fine job of looking after sponsorship for a New Zealand company, which is DSA, and repping his own New Zealand Racing League, Sylvan Motorsports, and he's got quite a few cool ferns on the side of his car there, and a big supporter of SuperCars New Zealand. So that's all New Zealand, New Zealand, New Zealand. Anyway, without further ado, here we go, the big spin. Hopefully it actually spins for half a decent amount of time. It's actually going to go for a nice, good spin. I think I got dizzy. There's number 6, so that one's out of the way.
Oh, 17 is it? Gonna go to 9.
Well, that's quite cool. You know this individual, Ben?
Yeah, so we've got Stephen McCartan is the winner of, is it $30 iRacing dollars from Allports Motorsport?
It is indeed. So there we go. So congratulations, Stefan. And there he is there, Crisscross Racing. Cool bit of a nice livery on his car tonight, black and white for New Zealand. He had some ferns and bits and pieces around on that car, and also another one sporting the DSA logo of Wayne Blaws. So very, very cool to see. So congratulations, Stefan, on winning that. What we can say now from there is I will quickly make this smaller again for the moment, and I'm going to quickly load in one more spinning wheel, and that will be for our Sunday Send It sessions, brought to you by Simblacks. We have a few more
So the
weeks.
remaining sessions for Sunday Send It are as follows.
Yep.
So we've got the Lotus 79 at Road America.
Yeah, we'll leave that on.
IMSA at Le Mans, which would be quite a good combo. The Brilliance Drive Pro Mazda at Winton. The Legends once again at Phillip Island, and the GT4 at Bathurst, which might be a good one considering we've got the Bathurst 12-hour coming up soon for a few of the drivers here.
So I took out the Lotus because there was a particular driver here tonight who unfortunately didn't finish the race, but it was his pick on that one, which was the one and only Brett O'Key from OKMS. So we've left that one off the list, but I've got IMSA, Pro Mazda, GT4s, and Legends on our remaining cars there, and that is on screen now.
Yeah, there's not many rounds left
No,
of any of the championships, but we'll go for a
fine.
bit of a rundown after this on what we've got coming up.
So yeah, so five more races of the season before we go into what will be our week 13. There'll be a whole ton of fun more racing coming out during that one as well. So if you're wanting to get involved with us at SuperCars End and do some racing,
Yes.
there we go. Now I'm actually really gutted that that's come up, because on Sunday night I'll be on night shift again, and that is one of my favourite cars to run. But hopefully there's a few more people out there that get involved on Sunday and get stuck in and do some racing. Because I certainly rate that as a cool wee car. I know you do too, Corey.
Yeah, Pro Mazda at Winton, so that should be a bit of fun. But we got a bit of a rundown of what we got left for the season. So the V8s have got 4 rounds left now, so they'll go to Mid-Ohio next week. Mugello, Gillies, Villeneuve, and VIR will follow out the V8 Summer Series there through to March. So we're already almost halfway through February, so it's a little unbelievable, isn't it? So Wednesday, tomorrow night, so we've got the 2-for-1 Wednesday, which is coming to you from Sandown. So that should be pretty fun. I reckon the Legends will be pretty awesome around there, as well as trucks.
Yep.
So yeah, then they go to Mosport, Detroit, Gillies, and then they're at Winton. So that's a fairly good run home in that series. And then if we rock over to the GT3s, so this week we're going to be at Mugello, but should be a bit of fun.
New track for iRacing.
Yeah, and then you've got Mosport, Donington, Gillies, Villeneuve, and Winton to round out the season for the GT3. So the tracks that are left for the rest of the season are pretty epic, I reckon. So yeah, get amongst it, get in there. Let's finish the season with a good roar.
Yeah.
And keep things positive.
That's it. And it's hard to believe just how quickly the racing goes through. We're already teeing up our official admin meeting next week, getting all the crew together to start planning next season already. So that's how far out we need to start doing our bits and pieces, squaring things away, coming up with new fresh ideas. So if you've got any suggestions around what you might like to see us include in as far as future racing goes, or if you jump onto the iRacing website and you see that there's particular tracks on there that you'd like to see us go to more frequently or regularly, that you feel that may have not been seen of late, feel free to flick them through to us, put them through as a message to the admin, and keep tuned. We'll be having some voting on some bits and pieces and potential changes for next season via the community page. So more than welcome all our racers to vote on that. But as far as that goes, it's been once again an awesome Tuesday evening. Joined in the broadcasting lounge with Corey. I've certainly enjoyed the support of you this season, stepping in, taking over from Shane to allow him to race, and certainly Ben. It's been great having another person passionate about racing and bringing some cool facts to the table and a bit of a fresh light on information and humour. It's really nice. So appreciate the effort that you've done to give up your time to come in here also.
Thank you. And I think we'll be wrapping it up there. Any more closing words, or else we'll
we better
our sponsors.
Yeah, we better shout out the weekly sponsor, MRX Race Sims. Thank you very much for your support for the weekly races. You guys get another shot for Wednesday and Thursday anyway, or Thursday anyway for sure.
Yep.
And as always, thanks to Chitty and the team at Allports Motorsport. Love your support for the broadcasting lounge and SuperCars NZ. It's always appreciated. And shop local. There's plenty of local awesome sim racing products you can buy in New Zealand, and we sure plug them around here. But awesome. Thanks, team.
Thank you very much to those that tuned in this evening. This was Doug. Thank you once again, Ben, Corey, and for those of you who tuned in, the races, the efforts out on track tonight, absolutely fabulous. And we'll catch you again later. See you later. Bye.